This video decides whether this wrecked Range Rover was a great buy or a very expensive mistake. Not even the insurance company wants to repair it. Nah, just send it to auction. We're not doing that. And now that we have the car in our unit, we're about to find out why. After spending £10,000 on the car, everything comes down to what we uncover next. In the last video, we actually managed to get the engine started. It turned on! We have an engine! But we also discovered the water leak from the radiator right here. Can you see that? Yes. To get it running, we had to temporarily bridge it using a coolant pipe from another 5-liter engine. The engine has to come out anyway to repair this damage, but before we do that, I want to be absolutely sure the engine itself is okay. I don't know if you guys can see, but I've been messing around with the cables. All good? Yeah. Right. Yeah, go for the ignition. Oh, nice. Sounds good. Sounds good, doesn't it? Give it a rev. Not too much, yeah? Give it to 3,000 RPM. Any engine warning lights? No engine warning lights. Zero engine warning lights. Shut it. I think we've got ourselves our engine. So now that we are happy with the engine, we can start taking the engine out and start focusing on fixing the strut tower. That means we can move forward, but there is still a bigger worry. We don't actually know if the frame is straight on the car yet. Once the engine is out, we can start seeing the frame rails properly, and then we can measure everything. Basically, there are two ways of removing the engine. You can either drop it or lift it from the top. A lot of people drop the engine. However, I do not know how to drop an engine since I've never ever done it in my life. The only way I know is to lift it from the top. So I think that's the method we're gonna use in this video. Let's stop talking and let's start working. Dirty t-shirt on, head torch on, and let's start disassembling the car one by one. So this is the problem here, can you see it? That's the problem.
Wow.
You see how damaged it is from here?
Yes.
So you see, we have to keep removing stuff so we can see the damages. I mean, obviously we had to remove this one anyway, but this is just an example how damages can be hidden. I've seen it from the top, but I've never actually seen it from the bottom. And now it looks a lot worse than the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just have to carry on, and we're committed now. We just have to keep going. So I'm just looking at the exhaust, and apparently this is a Quicksilver exhaust modification. It's not the genuine Land Rover, but I'll tell you what, Quicksilver is an expensive modification. I think for a new one, it's over 3 grand just for this exhaust. That's crazy. Hence why the sound of the car was really good at the beginning, you know, when we were revving it. Now the exhaust is off, we can start removing other things like transmission, engine, and so on. Usually we start at the top of the engine, by the way, but this time I didn't because I just want to get the stuff from underneath first. Let's move on top of the engine and start removing everything. So while I'm disassembling things, I've just realized something because of this is the facelift model. Again, just to confirm my theory from the beginning, this is a different fuse box and a lot of things here are different. This is also different, this plastic piece. The screws, 3 screws here, this is also different. You see the line is different, is routed different.
Yes.
And it has different sleeve on it here.
Yeah.
This glass 100% has already been replaced once. I can see the dripping here from the, they put some sort of paint. Oh, you know what, I forgot what is it called, like some sort of sealant they put before they put in the glass. I've seen that once. And then here the silicone, not silicone, it's like a sealant that has dripped already. So this glass, there are some signs that it has been replaced before. Okay, so the good news so far that I'm looking at these bolts over here and I'm not seeing that they have moved. They have not moved. And if you look at the strut, the brace, whatever it's called, I don't know, it's a brace something. It's not been moved. In here, you can see the screws. the bolts here. It's all good. And so it's the same thing on the other side and on that side there. I know you can't see it very well. Well, maybe if I zoom in. But no, it's all good. So we are in the clear in this kind of position. So like going that way and that way, we're okay. But obviously, we're not okay from here. So let's carry on and move more stuff so we can know exactly what's underneath it. To be honest with you, because I'm new at this, I don't know what's gonna happen next. I'm gonna remove these two bolts, but will anything shift from underneath the car? I am not sure what to expect. Okay, so...
Quite easy.
Okay, so just confirming one more time. Here, after the screws have been removed, nothing has been shifted, nothing has been moved, everything is still centered. Which means, I think that's a really good news. In my opinion, what do you guys think? Perfect. If you were wondering, I got these from Amazon, the brand new tools. I prefer them than the older ones. Link in description if you're interested. We have not filmed a lot on purpose because we have already, obviously last year we spent almost 12 months just removing engines and putting the engines back and transmissions and so on. No need to repeat the same content and again, it'll just get boring. So what we're gonna do is slowly drop your transmission. Ready, Alex?
Yeah.
What number transmission is this?
This is the fourth one.
Fourth one, yeah. Okay, so let's go down slowly now.
Take you 30 seconds.
Well, no, don't say that, now you jinx
I
it.
don't want to jinx it.
Right, let's
Okay.
slowly.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Wow.
It's
I
split.
can see it.
Here you go.
Ah, that's it.
Done.
I heard
Wow.
Nice.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah? Down.
Nice.
And then back. Everything is okay from your side, Alex?
Yeah, all good.
Is the
Oh,
cable?
you got the cable to disconnect, I think.
No, it's already disconnected. It just I put it there so it's not in the way.
Not in the way. The spaceship is coming down.
Da. And we have got ourselves
And a nice transmission.
transmission.
Look at that. Woohoo.
Wow.
Good job. Guys, give us a thumbs up.
Wow.
Nice.
It's different.
I don't know. It
Looks
way
new.
newer.
Looks
Yeah.
new. Came out. We have the engine hanging there. Okay, it's the moment where it comes out now. Okay, it's coming out. I don't know if the radiator is closer in because of the accident, so I just need to be careful. I mean, I've got plenty of space in the back, yeah?
Yeah.
So everything is coming out nicely. Any issues?
No?
I mean, I've done this multiple times already.
But still need to check.
We still need to check, yeah. I want to push it a bit back. I don't want it hitting the radiator because I'm worried. So is it going backwards now?
Yes, slightly.
Yeah, it's only just a little bit. Okay, now I can lift it more. It's all good from here. It's all good.
Yeah, all looks okay.
You know, it's
There's
cleared
more
it.
space here.
Yeah, it cleared it.
Oh, that's the engine mount
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we just continue now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Almost clearing it.
Almost clearing it.
Yes.
Look at this.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
Another engine.
Wow.
Woohoo.
5-liter V8 supercharged engine out.
Yes.
Obviously, this is not an engine job. So, what we do next usually is we pull it out and put it on the engine stand. Obviously, no need to do it in this case. We'll put it on the engine stand, but there's no need to continue working on an engine at the moment. If we have to do any modifications or upgrades, now would be a great time, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's put it on the side and let's create. We have a lot more work on the car indeed. Yes, we have to start doing stuff from the front and the sides and so on. But let's finish up this engine and put it on the side for now. So I was just about to remove the headlight and I've just noticed something. This headlight is also damaged because this, I don't know what's it called, this bar or whatever, is separated or twisted inside. Look, Alex, can you see?
That's not normal.
See?
Yeah, in both places.
Both places. Basically it cracked. So I don't know if...
Impact, yeah?
Basically, I think this has been moved back. Obviously, it's been moved back. But because it's been moved back, it cracked here. That means we definitely have some bend frame or something or chassis from underneath. I don't know yet. Honestly, I need to see. It could be simple. Maybe this bent. I don't know. This is the thing. We need to remove it so we can know. So let's continue removing the full front end. Wow. So now, no.
Pull towards you?
Up,
This.
up.
Okay, up. Yeah, go, go, go. It's working. Nice.
Something still, oh no.
No, no, it's all good. Wow.
Wow! I have always wanted to do something like this. Immediately, I'm looking.
Yeah.
Immediately, I think I know what our problem is.
What is it?
See how this one is square?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, no,
Look at this. Can you see how straight this?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
More or less, yeah? It's straight, yeah?
Yes.
Look at this one here.
Oh, it
Look.
bent. It was leaning backward.
Yeah.
That's not normal. Ah, okay. So that's because
Can this be replaced?
I don't know. Oh, well, this is a subframe.
No, this is not subframe. No, this is a frame. This is the one we need to measure. This is the reason why we removed everything. This is the reason why we removed the engine, to check this. This is the leg that we cannot have it bent to anything. And this is a problem unless, 1 second. Okay, I just removed this plastic and I wanted to see if I can remove this. And I can see the screws. You can tell that it has shifted, it has moved. Can you see the marking here? So I think this bracket here, I can see it better now with the plastic removed. It's definitely bent backwards. I definitely believe that this can be replaced, and this is the problem here. Oh my God, I hope it comes out, Alex. I'm trying.
I can hear it.
I managed to get the tool on it. Here you go.
Yes.
Here you go.
Oh, nice.
That's the problem. Okay, so now I need to confirm this is not bent. Otherwise, even if I buy a new bracket and I put it, it will still be bent. So I need to confirm this is not bent.
Okay.
Can you see the level?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you see how the line is close? What I want to do is I want to make sure this line is here. And if it is, then we know it's not bent.
Okay.
I want to put the laser here and on the other side as well. Okay, so let's try one more time. I don't know if can the camera pick it up?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's leveled, can you see?
Yes.
Obviously there's a level device and I have a laser on it.
Yeah.
And it tells us that it's leveled. Now we need to make sure the car is leveled as well. Otherwise this will not make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we know this is leveled, but is the car leveled? Let's see if the crash bar all is leveled. And if that is leveled, is matching with this level, then that's perfect. The car should be leveled, to be honest with you, because it's on the post lift and the hydraulics. But let's see. I think it should be okay. But that means only one thing, that bracket is okay, but we still need to assess everything else. So we're still not out of the woods whatsoever. In the previous video, a lot of you said, we work in body shops and we know what we're doing and so on. So the people who commented in the previous video, tell me if what I'm doing now is something actually valid or not. Because honestly, I'm just making it up as it goes. I really don't know if this is this how you do it?
So it's fully level, yeah?
It looks like, yeah. So see the crash bar?
Yeah.
It's leveled.
Yeah. And you can see on the level device?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Can you see it?
It's in the middle.
Yeah. It's dead center. So leveled.
Yeah.
But let's do different places. Let's put the level device on a different points in the cars and to check.
Okay.
This is okay. This is okay. This is also okay. No, I'm joking. This is not okay.
I was thinking
This is no, I'm joking. No. Okay.
all this part.
Yeah, this is still. So I think since we're happy on that side, let's move on here.
Yeah.
And start disassembling all of this panel. I think I need to remove the washer reservoir because I think there's a bolt somewhere. I don't know what am I missing. I tried, but I think I need to remove the reservoir. Let's try to remove the reservoir first and then we'll see. Oh, that was easy. Okay, but I need to remove this big box underneath. I don't know how. That's interesting. So it just comes out like that?
Wow.
Or is it broken? We may need another one then, if it's broken. I didn't realize we had water in the screen wash, but
Yeah, now we know.
now we know. I'm glad I had the bucket underneath.
Yeah.
Should we save it?
Good to have. What, the water?
I mean,
it's blue.
I mean, this car is gonna bankrupt us. So probably a bit of water, saving a bit of water will help.
Do you want a cup?
Will help us financially. So probably will help us financially.
So this is the beginning of day 5. Fahad is still here.
If I remove this now,
Wow.
oh no. Okay.
Ah, but it's still connected with wires.
Yeah. So I need to remove this wire
Yeah.
from here. Okay, and that is not out yet. How do you remove it? Oh, I need to disconnect from here. There's a lot of mold coming out. Can you see it?
Yes.
Black. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Black mold. Well, we may replace this or we wash this.
Yeah.
Let's see the condition. We'll test it.
Yeah.
We'll test it.
Yeah.
So I found the missing screw here. This one. Well, it's actually a knot, not a screw.
Yeah.
But once I remove it, in theory, the full panel should come off. Are you ready?
Yes, ready.
And here we go.
It's out.
That's a fender. Bender.
Fender.
Yeah. Everything I have been doing so far is fun, is nice, is cool, but it does not answer the most important question that we have. Is the frame bent or not? Now, after doing a lot of research, I couldn't find the actual distance that needs to be between each strut and bolt, or how to measure if the frame is bent or not. But eventually, I found that I already have the document a long time ago. The workshop manual, it says what the distance should be between each frame. If you look behind me there on the TV,
Yes.
I've got the distance. So all we have to do now is measure the distance between each, well, there are some, what's it called, like a reference points on the full chassis. And if the reference points matches the document, then our frame should be straight. If not,
We're in trouble.
we have a big problem. Well, that did not work. The measure tape doesn't work. It's a lot harder than what we thought.
Yeah.
We need a special tool. After doing a lot of research, the situation is there is a part that I need to buy. It looks like a ruler and you measure from one point to another and it's very accurate. We could not get the right measurements from just using a tape. In theory, if you just look at it from outside just like that, you can see that everything is held with rivets. And if I look closely, like here, where it has peeled, it's held with bond. So really, there's no welding. But just because it's bonded and riveted doesn't make it easy. This is not easy whatsoever. Aluminium is way more difficult to work with than metal. While we don't have a full confirmation whether the frame is straight or not, one thing I can confirm to you, this is one massive, huge challenge ahead of me. And this is a big problem. And what makes it worse, there are no videos showing you how to replace these parts on YouTube. For a Range Rover, obviously. I thank you very much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.